I just wanted to show you where the fence is going to ultimately end, the fence we've been working on. Okay, you see this 55-gallon drum? And here's the fence that goes that way. See that pole there? About 10 more feet that way is where our fence, our property line, actually our property line is way on the other side, but there's a creek that runs down here and it ruins fences, so we got to stay on that side of the creek with the fence. And from there, that pole about 10 feet in, actually there's a T-post. Let me see if I can zoom in on that T-post right there. That's about where the fence is going to be ending up at. And oh, gotta put it in D. Are we in D? No, we're in M. Alrighty. So I'm guessing we got about another 160 feet to go. I've got 200 feet up so far. I've got T-posts hammered in, and from that wooden post to this, I just have that tapped in the ground. I'm going to put a 4x4 there. That's 30 feet from there to there. That's 30 feet from there to there. Same thing, I've got this one just tapped into the ground to show where I got to put my 4x4. And then from there, behind me another 30 feet. That pole that's bent over is about another 30 foot. And that'll be 90 more feet of fence going this way. And then I think we'll have enough fence to do the whole thing. If we're short, it'll just be by 10 or 20 feet. I measured it a long time ago. I've just forgotten the measurements. All right, my wife is on the other side, way down yonder by the wooden fence mowing. Okay, I've got these set out on the driveway here. And I'm fixing to take a break. My wife's up here setting her lawnmower ran out of gas. Okay, there's my thermoses out there in the sun still. Let's see, it's a little past 10 in the morning. I just wanted to share some more good news. The post office has sent me a notification that they're still looking for the package they lost. That's good news. At least they're still looking. I don't know if I'll ever get my $200 insurance money on that or not, but I'm not gonna, that's like the second package. That's the first package gone missing. The other package, I think I explained to you, it was a knife I ordered on eBay. It went to Dallas, and then it went through Shreveport, somewhere in Mississippi, and then back to Dallas, and then up to Oklahoma City, and then Port Jervis, New Jersey is where they ended up delivering my package. I have no idea how they could do that, but I give up. It was probably less than $25. It was a knife that was rusted and no sheath, and it was the last knife I bought, and I didn't even bother the eBay guy. It's just not worth the effort dealing with the post office. It just makes you even madder about something so simple. I just don't get it. Anyway, so I'm not even going to pursue that package, but this one that I had $200 worth of insurance on, I'm certainly going to pursue. But you got to give them a couple of months to hunt and peck and look and check behind doors and go through dumpsters. Who knows? I just wanted to show you this. Something's already tried pushing under here. I don't know if you can see how far in that is. Probably an armadillo. Raccoons, they would just come over it, so it's probably an armadillo. Maybe a big dog, I don't know. But I have staples. I just can't get on the ground right now. And I'm gonna staple it up against that 4x4. Anyway, here's what I got done. Alrighty, let's go find my wife. physical work I got in me today, laying on the floor, just freaking kills me. But I did measure another 30 feet out from, not that pole, but that pole right there. That pole out to that pole is 30 feet, and I've got my stakes laid out at 10-foot intervals in between. And tomorrow I'm gonna hammer in those 3 T-posts, and the next thing I have to do is dig a hole, 2-foot hole for my 4x4. One there, one here, and one here. So that's 1, 2, 3 holes I gotta dig, and 3 poles I gotta drive, T-posts I gotta drive. And then I'll be ready for my 100-foot fence from that 4x4 down to where the last 4x4 is gonna be, which is, like I said, that pole right there. So tomorrow, I don't think I can do any digging, but I think I can drive them 3 posts in, T-posts. And tomorrow I'm gonna work on some weed eaters in my shop. So the rest of the day for me is gonna be sitting around waiting on them beans to cook in the thermos and the rice. And that's it. So we'll see you about 4 o'clock. Well, this is my Berkey water filter. And I do not use Berkey filters. Long story. I'm not even gonna go into it, but I would never in a million years trust Berkey filters. So I use Dalton, and I've used Dalton ever since the very first set of those black Berkey filters went bad. Broke, no warranty, denied it. And then there was literally thousands of people with broken black Berkey filters, the elements, the candles, whatever they call them, and they wouldn't warranty them. So I never bought black Berkey candles again, water filters. And if you ever wanted to see what was inside these Dalton filters, well, looky here. I dropped this stupid thing. These are ceramic filters with charcoal internals. So this one, I cleaned it, and the second one I was scrubbing it off with this, and then I dropped it. I have dropped pretty much everything I picked up today. Let me get this cleaned up. I have plenty of these. Okay, good morning. I've been waiting for my pain pill to kick in, and it's not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I have 1, 2, 3 post holes to dig, and 1, 2, 3 T-posts to drive, and I can put 100 feet of fence up. And I think when I do that, that's gonna be it for a while, because we got, okay, a property now takes a kind of a sharp left, and got a whole lot of clearing to do. We still got some clearing to do back here away from the fence, but this will work for now. And gonna wait for some cooler days. We've had 100, 102, 105 degree days, and I'm just gonna force myself to do this so I can get 100 feet up and be done with it. So let's get started. I'm actually gonna do this. I got my 3 T-posts hammered in, and I got 1 more foot to go on my first 4x4. 2 more after that. See that black line on my handles? That's the 2-foot mark. Okay. Fat guy break, and then back to work. Nothing is harder than chopping through roots. And you slam them things in the ground, you think you got a real good bite of dirt, and you pull it up, and that root says, no, all that dirt's staying here. Whew. So you chop and you chop and you chop. All right, about another foot in this hole. This is the second hole. 1 more foot, and I'll be on the last hole. And I'm already past the roots now, so everything should be okay. Okay, last one. Now you see, A thinking man would have done this last one first. He'd have been done by now. Okay. Alrighty. 20 more minutes. I'll be headed to Lowe's to get some 4x4s and some cement. Okay. Hole number 3. Now I got to run to Lowe's, get 3 poles and 4 bags of cement. And here in about 2 hours, we will have this. I got to let it dry overnight, but tomorrow I can start putting this 100 feet section from that pole down to the very last hole beyond my wife. And then I'll have about 120 feet left to do. This will be, this will be 400 feet when I get it up. We'll have put 400 feet up by ourselves, by our lonesome. All right, we'll be right back. Okay. Now I gotta handle them 2 more times, and that's it. So, I had to load that cement, right? I had to load it onto my buggy and then push it to my truck and load it on my truck. Well, there's young guys standing around, knock my mirror off, standing around doing nothing, watching me load the cement. Okay, it's only 4 bags. But I go out to my truck and I have to load them from way down low up into my truck. And there's like 3 Lowe's guys, young men, 20s, standing around doing nothing. I'm not asking for help. If a young man doesn't offer to help an old guy, I'm not gonna ask. I'd rather suffer and do it myself than to ask a young guy to do something that I would do when I was a young guy, and that's help older folks who are struggling. Anyway, just something I noticed. And let me tell you, these 4x4s, these are the heaviest 4x4s I've ever picked up in my life. They are soaked with whatever that stuff is that they treat them with. They are green, heavy, very heavy. Heavier than the, as heavy as the cement bags. All right, we'll be back home in a minute. Okay, story time. And what reminded me of this story was a truck was pulled over, and I could see underneath the back of his trailer where one of his air tanks had dropped down. The air tank, the air reservoir that basically holds the air for your brakes. Anyway, many years ago, back many pickup trucks ago, I had a toolbox on my truck with, nuts, bolts, baling wire. Oh, little baby deer. I'm sorry, I get all girly over baby animals. Anyway, Charlie and I were on the interstate in my pickup, and a truck passed us with a brand new trailer. And he had an air tank that was just hanging by the rubber air lines on the back of his trailer. So I cut up to him, honked my horn, and Charlie rolled the window down, and he rolled his window down, and we got him to understand that there was something hanging from his trailer. So he pulls over, and I pulled over behind him, and I have everything, I could have him fixed up, and air tank. I even had nuts and bolts. I mean, that's how weird I was about being prepared, mechanically. And the guy wasn't interested in fixing it. He said, well, I'm only going to Monroe. I said, you're in freaking Bossier City, man. I mean, you got 90 miles to go. Why would you drive that far with an air tank hanging? Wasn't interested in fixing it. Got back in his truck and left. Thanked us. But I'll tell the mechanic. Good Lord. Which reminded me of another thing. Back when we were with Forward Air. Pulled into a fuel island next to another Forward Air owner-operator. And he had a massive air leak on his glad hand. And what the glad hand is, it's an air line that connects from your truck and provides air to the trailer. And it's important. And it was just hissing like crazy. So the guy's at his fuel tank. And I said, I got extra glad hand rubbers if you want to fix that glad hand. Glad hand rubbers are these little grommets that go inside the glad hand that prevent the air from leaking out. And the guy said, nah, that's all right, I'll get it later. Okay, a month goes by. Same fuel stop, same freaking truck, same astronomical hiss, losing air. I could not believe it. I didn't say anything. I mean, if you didn't want to fix it a month ago, we probably don't want to fix it now. And people are weird about maintenance. And, you know, it got me thinking about DOT. My truck, you would have to lie to find something wrong with my truck. I knew every nut and bolt on my truck. And if a DOT guy said, you got this wrong or that wrong, he was freaking lying. Because, I mean, unless it broke while I was driving, and I encountered them that would happily lie about something being wrong, and I had a guy tell me I had an air leak that was ticket worthy. And I said, well, I know where the air leak is. I have the part. I'm just waiting until I'm out of the desert before I climb under there and put the new part on. It's not leaking anywhere near enough to shut me down. I mean, there's a parameter, a criteria. You're allowed, because it's just 20 miles of airlines and hoses, you're allowed to lose, I forget what it was, like 3 or 4 PSI and so many minutes. And I wasn't losing, I mean, I was barely losing any air at all, and he knew that. That's what I told him. I said, I have the part. I just don't want to crawl under there, you know. This was New Mexico in the desert. And so he wrote me a freaking ticket for having an air leak. You can have air leaks. You can have audible air leaks. That doesn't mean you're leaking air beyond the acceptable parameter. He didn't check. And I wasn't. And he said, well, I could write you up for something far more expensive than that. And okay, dude, I get the picture. You're a crook. You're a liar, you're a thief, you're a crook with a badge. Anyway, I didn't want to get on that. Just a few minutes from home. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Do I want to drive my truck down there? It's a front wheel drive truck. And it's a hill. And I can get down there just fine. But I don't know if I could power my way back up that hill. So I'm going to have to handle this a couple more times, putting it on my gator and then going down the hill with my gator. So I'll have to do that. All right, see you at the house. Well, I hate to break up the party, guys. Here I go. Okay. All right, tomorrow I string up another 100 feet. Okay. And we, from that pole, way down yonder, I have 100 feet for what I've done now, and I'm afraid this is going to be probably 120, 130. I'm just guessing, looking at the distance. Okay. I'm going to bring the fence down here, and I'm going to lay it down and probably unroll it. Get it, you know, relaxed out of its rolled up shape. And that's going to be it for me, probably today. Alrighty, that's it. Have a good, what? Saturday? Sunday. Have a good Sunday, y'all. There's 100 feet. Why won't you go? Why won't you go? God, I tell you, when I sweat and my phone gets hot, the screen won't do anything. Good. Jeez, took forever. I had to shut it off. All right, so there's 100 feet, but the last at least 5 or 6 feet are not usable. So here's 94 feet, and that would put me about 20 feet from the fence. So if I get another 50-foot roll, I'm good to go. All right, there's the pole, but this is going to be way out there because my property line, there's a sunk railroad tie out there. That's my property line. But anyway, one more 100-foot roll, and then about 20 more foot off a 50-foot roll, and we will have the fence done.